Hi, this is Bay here, and this is effectively end of day 3. Uh, Although technically this is the 4th day, but I didn't play at all for one whole day because I was working, and I didn't really want to make a video at the end of day 3 because I really hadn't had like all my thoughts in the right place in terms of figuring things out. And so I waited for another day to just sit there and brood on some ideas until I came up with a more comprehensive understanding of the class and of the build, and so I can like give you something of value. Alright, so let's talk about SRS Guardian. Let's talk about SRS in general and minions in general. First things first, this was a pretty good build for a 1 week league. It does pretty well. It's able to farm up to T14s, I think, safely. Not fully modded, unfortunately, but it's able to do like, I wouldn't say Alch and Go, more like Alt and Go or Transmute and Go T14s, along with Sentinel, right? So Sentinel makes things generally a multiplier in terms of difficulty. So if you're already doing some really difficult content like multi-modded corrupted maps with harder than average mods, and you're trying to do like stuff like essences, and then you tack on Sentinel on top of it, you're asking for a hard time. So to be frank, you generally can do Sentinel, but you can't do it on a harder base, harder difficulty base. So you can't do stuff like T16s, fully modded maps, and then tack on Sentinel on top of that. I don't think it's possible. If you can probably do T16 maps, while like blocking mods that you can't really do, and that would generally be alright. But as for that kind of reason, I feel like SRS Guardian is a decent league starter with reasonably okay scaling, reasonably okay tankiness, but doesn't really have much else going for it. So personally, my take is like, here's my observation, right? I would say that it's something that you want to play day 1 and day 2, but then you just don't want to play it like day 3, the week 2 or something like that. It just doesn't have the scaling that you would like out of a league starter, and so for that reason, I'm kind of like meh about it. Okay, second thing is also what I've observed is hit-based abilities no doubt make a lot more sense when you think you have 3 auras up, so that's Hatred, Anger, and Wrath. So to some extent, SRS is not too bad for those reasons, but at the same time, I think what stands out as like kind of broken for Guardian itself is actually just this one ability. So Sentinel Radiance is pretty strong, and it's strong because it scales off minion life and minion damage. So as long as you're scaling minion life and minion damage, you can get like HP to 250,000 values, and this itself is enough to like get you into T12s, T13s alone, right? You don't really need anything else. Second thing as well is you can consider this, right? As you're scaling minion life, you can definitely go to stuff like Popcorn SRS, because that also scales that also scales on minion life and minion health, but you're doing a separate skill entirely. So that is one alternative. The other is something that I don't think anyone has tried yet, and I'm wondering if Maw Mischief works with this. I would assume it does. So if you run Maw Mischief, you run a replica Siege Breaker, you can do quite a significant amount of fire damage by just forcing the Sentinel Radiant to die, right, using a Maw Mischief. And although it's kind of a 2-button sort of build, Ignite does have the quality of proliferating. You can run a Barracks Respite. You can kind of scale like damage or fire damage over time in the same areas as you're scaling minion life. So personally, what I would try to experiment in the coming event, which is this is it Saturday? Okay, it'll be Saturday for me. So the next event that's coming up, I might want to try a life scaling SRS Guardian, or a life scaling Guardian that uses more Mischief and Ignite, right? I would like to experiment that. It's just an idea, but I might be wrong about it. It's just nice to give it a shot. Anyway, let's talk about the upgrades I did on day 3. I haven't played today, so that was yesterday. And what I did was I bought a Darkness Enthroned. So this is pretty much a perfect one. It cost me 3.5 divines. I bought some jewels to go with it. You can snipe some pretty cheap, which I did. I think these were like less than 10 chaos each. I 6-linked this for about 2 divines worth of fusings. I got lucky there. I fused it in about, I think, 420 fusings. Obviously most of them were farmed. The rest I bought. So 2 divines were, I bought 2 divines worth of fusings, and I used about another 1 divine worth of my own fusings. Alright, yeah. And then, so I have a 6-link here. I have Darkness Enthroned. I bought a couple of expensive jewels. I have Immutable Force and Blood Notch, which is pretty nice for keeping me alive. It makes me tanky. And then I also have Traitor, Brutal Restraint, that gives me Bala Bala. Bala Bala gives me Traitor, sorry. And I get like 8 charges a second for each of my 3 flasks. I would still say it's still not as tanky as I'd like it to be. I have been pretty fucking spoiled, and I've been spoiled by Pathfinder. I think Pathfinder as a defensive class is kind of broken at the moment. There's not really much defensive options or ascendancies that can beat it. So, yeah, just say. This was a nice experiment, but I think my opinion is if you're not starting a Pathfinder in most leagues, you are kind of gimping yourself until they nerf Pathfinder, right? Yeah. Anyway, what else did I upgrade? Not much else. Mainly just expensive jewels, 6-link, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, in order to make use of Blood Notch, I had to get this. So Stun Threshold paid off 60% of your energy shield instead of life. I have no energy shield because of on my life, protecting my life because of EB. So I get stunned all the time. I get stunned all the time means I pretty much on hits get recovery almost up to the maximum hit. I don't die from hits. It's kind of like Aegis Aurora. So then I went for this instead for damage over time protection. But even still, I don't really. I personally like wouldn't consider this a good setup. Like even though I killed Ida and Exarch quests, T16s, I did Ida Deathless. I did Exarch with like 1 or 2 deaths because I'm really bad at dodging balls. But other than that, this is considered a good build, but I won't consider it like a kind of like amazing build that you can scale to the level I scaled my Pathfinder in Toda. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna just close off this event now. I'm not gonna level beyond 90. I don't think it's worth it. I think it'll be too much of a pain in the ass to do. I'm not keen on playing this further, but I am looking forward to the next event, which is Saturday, where I can do a live, mini live based Guardian, and then try more mischief with that and do Ignite. Yeah, that will be definitely something I'm very keen to try out. Alright, that's pretty much it. I'll probably be like doing work this week. I think work's pretty heavy for me like right now. It's manageable, but still heavy. And then I will, whenever I feel I'll play like Dota or something. Alright, see you guys. Peace. I'm out. Oh yeah, let me talk about links. So for the 6-link, multi-strike, melee splash, elemental damage with attacks, increase critical strikes, unleash, and summon raging spirit. Swap out melee splash for like damage on full life whenever you're doing bosses. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much else. Carrying Golden Link to Feeding Frenzy, obviously Convocation, Desecrate, Flesh Offering, and Assassin's Mark on a trigger wand. Defiance Banner, Temper Shield, Purity Elements, and Determination for reservations. Flame Dash for mobility, faster attacks, Shield Charge for mobility, Molten Shell, cast with damage taken for defensive layers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Right now, if you look at defenses, Cat Res, Chaos Res is pretty abysmal, but you can be solved by just replacing gloves and this ring. Chance to block attack is 72 and 74% respectively without glancing blows. That's actually pretty significant. But I do think this build needs like at least 5k life, maybe about 5.6 or some shit like that. And for that to happen, you need to probably replace Ancient Skull, scale life, replace glove, scale life, etc. and skill damage elsewhere, through other means rather than this combination. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm done. I'm out. Bye. See you guys for the next event. Keep tuned for the life scaling, mini life scaling Guardian and the next event. All right. Peace. Bye.